What's up, guys?
Hey,
I love the tortoise. He's still just clawing across the sand, making his way, enjoying life. Here we are, man. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good. How are you? How's
I'm
everybody else doing? Good to see everybody on the chat here. It's great. Great Thursday morning. A little brisk in Florida, but I'm sure not as cold as up there in Minnesota.
Hey, man. We're gonna hit 41 today, so it's a heat wave. I can't
Watch
remember.
out.
Yeah, I can't remember who sang the song, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, man. I fresh off the plane. I got in from Charlotte late last night, and here I am, bright and early for everybody. My
That's
apologies.
great.
One of the things that gets screwed up when you travel is my routine. And my routine of posting and writing the descriptions and that stuff for this show was a little rushed, and in that I forgot to adjust the correct time posting. So yeah, 7:30 Eastern time Thursday mornings I won't say always is a big word, but that is when we do the show. So here we are, right on time, and here you are, all are more importantly right on time. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah, and this is for anybody who's just checking us out, it's Proper Cup of Joe. We get together every Thursday morning at 7:30, and we talk about snakes because I don't have them, and I wonder why an old friend of mine decided to get into the industry. So I have a lot of questions. So I'm Joe, and that's Adam.
Here I am, man.
So you've been traveling, huh?
Yeah, I went out to Sunday. I flew out to Charlotte to do a client site visit. It's the property I was the food and beverage director at for 6 years, and then I've worked with them for 5 years since. So a long relationship. They experienced horrific destruction from Hurricane Helene, and we could get into that a little bit later. But they never closed, but they're doing kind of an official reopening. The town's doing an official reopening. They've got new leadership there, and so we kind of went through and did a little. It's actually a big exercise, but a kind of a systems processes redesign. What are we doing now? What do we want to be doing? What's the way? What is who we are, and how do we get there? And so that was with the leadership, but they'll take that, and then that'll trickle down to the staff and the team. And there was a lot of, I should talk about that in a little bit too. There was some really cool things that emerged from that. I like that team, and I think they've got a really great chance of, a really great likelihood of really crushing it. I'm really happy for them. So it was a good trip. Yeah. I get to come, and then I get to come home. I'm back here and back to a whole bunch of snake food today, man.
That's one of the best things about kind of the work like of advising is that you go, okay, this is my experience. I'm going to impart some suggestions to you, but it's up to your discretion to take that forward or not. And I'm out,
Yeah. Oh, I even joked. I mean, there was a time where, because I don't think anybody likes to sit through, corporate exercises with the dude from Minnesota that flew in. I get that. I'm well aware of that, especially in food and beverage. But it was nice to be able to, and in a cool way, say, look, guys, I'm here to offer. I'm not here to make decisions. I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. None of you are interviewing for your jobs. That is the director that I believe in and has been hired, and I'm here to facilitate. You can make the most of it or the least of it, but you're stuck with me until Wednesday, and then Wednesday night I fly home and I'm out of your hair until I'm invited back, So, and with a little bit of time and with a little bit of very little time, within a few minutes or hours, it was like, all right, he's not going anywhere until Wednesday, so let's get on board. So it was cool.
I guess we have to deal with this guy for a couple of days.
And a fair number of them I knew from my time. A few of them had worked with me. A fair number of them knew of me, and then I had worked behind the scenes with the current director. So it wasn't like, the Office Space, consultant.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yes. Well, that's good. I mean, positive then. It's a positive experience.
Yeah, it really was. And I forget, like, I'm not into, I'm not really into like mystical stuff or whatever, but it's really hard to explain. But those mountains are magical, man. That I was born 22 miles from where that property is. My mother's sister still lives there. She and her husband. I got to have dinner with them on Sunday night. Culture really defines a place, and there's a great radio. If anybody is into, anyway, it's a great radio station called WNCW. And if you want to understand what the culture of Appalachia and the mountains are, listen to WNCW, and you could go to the website and stream it. And I do that sometimes, and I like listening to it. It's so different to be on those roads, to be seeing what culture is being reflected in the music and actually being in the culture, talking to the next person. And you forget accents and mannerisms and beliefs and ways things are done. The Southern hospitality, there's good and bad with it. There's the complicated history of Appalachia. It's all still there, and I forget sometimes. And it was cool to be in it, and it really struck me. It was almost profound. It was really kind of a neat thing that just how hard it hit me when I was there.
That's awesome. That's so great. I mean, a beautiful area. I don't know if I've been exactly where you were.
I mean, the time you spend in North Georgia is pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. North Georgia and Asheville, North Carolina, and just a beautiful, beautiful area up there. And I really like what you're saying about, there are these things that we kind of look back on, or like you read about, or but actually being in a place and experiencing those things, like you said, like the accents and the mannerisms of a place and how it works and everything. Experiencing something like that it makes it real again, and it's such a great experience to be in a place. I mean, this is, you said, hey, is that the hat that you wore in Minnesota? And it brought me back to being in Minnesota, because I had never been in Minnesota before, and visiting there was I talk to you every week on this show, and you're in Minnesota. You tell me what it's like there, but you don't really get it until you're there and you visit a place, and you're surrounded by the people, and you're surrounded by the structures, you're surrounded by and all of that it comes with a history of the area, and so you just kind of feel it. You get all of those intangibles, and you know it. So it's so great. It's just it's a good experience. I'm looking forward to traveling in the next 6 months or so too. I'm doing trips. Yeah.
Right. And it, like I say, it wasn't totally idealistic. I mean, I remembered some of the reasons why I moved too. I mean, like I say, there's some complicated feelings, but it was very, very cool to be there. And the just the purest form of just the geography, the place. Forget how humans have complicated anything. That place, it's amazing, man. I love like I say, the Blue Ridge stretch of Appalachia is unbelievable, cool. Unmatched, man. Yeah, really cool. So, but now back to the snakes. I mean, and there was all that, but there was all the you leave.
Are you happy? You happy to be back and surrounded by snakes?
Well, I haven't even been to my facility yet. I go today, so I've got to go. I haven't been there since Saturday.
Are you itching to get out the door and get over there, or what?
Yeah, I got to. I want to check on everything. When the rodents get stressed, they turn on each other. I haven't topped off. I topped off their food hugely on Saturday, but I haven't topped it off since. Same thing with I doubled up their waters. Yeah.
What can you expect when you go back after a few days being away?
It honestly should be fine. But if there was an issue with the water, if the rodents get dehydrated, this is really kind of gory, but there is a supply of fluids. If they the more dominant ones decide they want to get that from. So basically they eat each other is what I'm saying. So that's a real problem that could occur. But I have no reason to think that it has. I mean, I prepped hard for it. A thermostat could fail. Again, I don't have any reason to think that. The temps from my phone look fine. Everything looks good. One ironic part, I land in Charlotte. I get a phone call from Minnesota that I wasn't anticipating. Didn't recognize, pick up the phone. Hello, this is Adam. And a very nice person says, hey, Adam, I'm Wayne from your car wash. One of your water lines is burst in your South Bay. And I was like, well, isn't that the way I fly to Charlotte and you're calling me here? And I said, tell me about it. Is it, profusely just thank you. Is it spraying everywhere or what are we talking about? And he said, no, the timer runs out and it turns off. And I just turned it to off. I said, let me ask you, Wayne, would you be willing to close the door and pull the garbage dumpsters in front of the door if I'm closed? Normally I put a sign that I'm closed, but I'm not there. And he says, yeah, I could do that. He says, well, there's a lock inside this bay. I could lock this one and walk out through the other bay if you'd like me to do that for you. I said, Wayne, I would appreciate if you would do that for me. That's very nice. And so he did. And so only one bay has been open the whole time since I've been gone. So we'll see. I actually don't even think it froze or burst. Those are high pressure lines that after a while they do wear out. Now it's a long while. I haven't ever changed one, but I've got hoses, I've got wrenches. We got this good dude, Wayne. And Joe, we could even do not like a show, but we could even do a little segment. Like the high while I was gone was in the teens. It wasn't like I was going to be slammed there at the car wash. Today, we get to 41. Yeah. Like I need to get that car wash fixed this morning.
Yeah.
So this dude, Wayne, calls me, doesn't think anything of it. He's just being a nice Minnesotan local guy in Lonsdale. Sure. What an opportunity I have to say thanks to this guy. Like I'm going to call him back. He's going to get like probably a $30 or $50 gift card to a local restaurant in town. And first, because of my genuine thanks, but second, this guy is clearly a local. He's clearly a good dude that I want to do business with. I want him to I want 10 more Waynes to come to the car wash. You know what I mean? Yes. Like I got to make this guy's day because he made my day so much easier. Like if somebody had called and been like, got to tell you, you're screwed. You got water everywhere. Just letting you know. And they were gone. I would have been stressed the whole time. He made it like the problem solved. Okay, cool.
So you're going to go get him a gift card and then call him back and say, can I drop this off to you? Or you want to come by and pick it up?
Yeah.
Next time you do oh man.
I'm going to ask him.
That's a good way to do it.
I'm going to ask him if he lives in Lonsdale because Lonsdale's all of about 4 square miles total. I'm going to ask him where I can meet him and deliver this thing to him. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's a good way to do it.
So like I'm actually excited about the thing. And it's not so much about like buying he or his friend's confidence or advertisement. It is about showing somebody. I really think there's a huge value in showing somebody that there's a person behind a brand that gives a damn.
Oh, yeah.
I want the chance to say thank you and look this person in their eye and shake their hand. That's what I want.
Right. Yeah. To show a little appreciation goes a long way for loyalty. Yeah, definitely. I mean, to do something and just like, and it's thankless or whatever, it makes you go, why am I going to do this again? And I know like that kind of stuff should just come from being a good person, but I think there has to be some give and take and some reciprocity of appreciation for sure. That just keeps things going. That's great.
It does. And it doesn't, I don't know. What does it cost? It doesn't cost me like sure, there's a line item where there's going to be an expense, but like, it's not taking away food or experience from me or my family. And I'm actually going to feel a better fulfillment from it for being able to say thank you to somebody who went out of their way to figure out how to help me.
With
no expectation. The guy wasn't like, hey, for $100, I could probably do a little something. No, he's just like, what do you need? What can I do for you? I was like, my goodness. All right. So
do you feel like that's the character of Lonsdale, or is it just Wayne himself?
I think it's the character of Minnesota, to be honest. Like it's
really Minnesota.
I really do. Yeah. I'm not saying it's, this panacea where everybody's wonderful and rainbows and butterflies. But in general, yeah, there's a strong lookout for each other.
Yeah. They're helping each other out.
Wayne is the State Farm of the locals, man. That's for sure.
That's great. Now, when you got the call about this, is there panic? Do you feel like a panicked moment because you're so far away?
Yes and no. I've gotten to know more people in town. Like there immediately there was somebody that popped into mind that I could call and be like, all right, they might not be able to fix it, but they'll know who can. And then I'll get the people paid kind of deal. So there was a little bit, but there was more like, of course.
Right. Yeah.
But everything's relative. So I think I had mentioned on the show that the other like budget car wash in town has shut down. It's gone. So
I don't know
if I don't know if I told you or not. I guess not. Yeah. So February 17th on my birthday marked the busiest month that I've ever had in that location. And it was by the 17th of the month. I still had, 30% of more than 30% of February to go. So there was a little part of me that was like, easy come, easy go. At least I got the easy come part up front, making the money in, money out part up front. So there was a little part of me that was like, look, I'm already in the black. I hate being closed if people expect me to be open. But one of the bays was open and it was bloody crazy cold. So
not a lot of people are coming to get the car washed.
Yeah, it took me about 3 minutes to process through it. And then, Wayne hooked it up. I don't know who Wayne is. I'm going to go meet him. But whoever Wayne is, he hooked it up for me. And it was just kind of like, well, I know I have that Thursday morning to deal with. Now, like I say, it's going to be sunny, clear, 41 today. I better have that place open pronto. So what I'm hoping is I don't walk into any surprises in the snake and rodents. I turn on the lights. Well, the lights come on. I pop my head in there. That's cool. And then I go fix that. And I get that bay open and then I get to cleaning and everything that I want to be doing in the snakes. And I have customers coming today. It's great.
That's good. Now, we
got a little cash in the jar. We gotta acknowledge this when this happens, So that's Creative Reptiles Elias. What's going on, man? Thanks for hanging out this morning. Always. And Joe, I feel bad sometimes. Speaking of giving thanks, you and I, we get on our tear. We enjoy doing the show so much. I gotta say thanks to Heart of the Python. That is Kate Peaver with Bill as well in Massachusetts. I hope they're in the audience. I hope that the blizzard did okay for you all. The temps held, electricity held, all of that. But they are our advertisers here on the show. Kate's working the Monarch and Puzzle Project. Bill works the Monsoon, and the kids work the Sunset and Clown Project. So it's a family affair. They travel. I literally had a conversation with Kate, and she said, I think Bill might be doing a show in Minnesota. I was like, that's a long way. She's like, I know. I was like, okay, well, I hope I get to see him in Minnesota then. So that's to be determined. I'm not advertising that they will be there, but I am highlighting the amount that they travel and get out in the community and out in the country working with these ball pythons. Also, they have a line called the Heart Line. They breed for temperament to grow the hobby, to give people the confidence to buy new snakes and to try new pets and to try ball pythons as pets and future breeders. So I really like that. So check out Heartline Pythons on TikTok and heart of the python otherwise. So thank you very, very much, Kate and Bill. I appreciate you guys keeping the lights on here for us. Audience, their information is right down below in the description. Go follow them on Instagram, TikTok, give them some support. Okay. We got it's almost that time of month. At the end of the month, I get to order the rodents, Joe. Do you know that, man? I get to order from Cold Blooded Cafe. That's when I put in my orders. They'll be back. Finest and frozen rodents for your animals. Look, I worked a long time, and they're the freshest, cleanest, consistent product out there. You're gonna get free shipping if you use the promo code proper11. And why do you laugh, man? It's such a people think this way about feeding themselves, about feeding their dogs. I think it's important, man. I love it.
I get it. It's just for somebody who doesn't have snakes and has no need to buy frozen rodents. It's an interesting purchase, and but of course you want to get the freshest, the best meals for your animals. So
that's right.
You got to go to Cold Blood Cafe.
And then how you're going to keep track of who's eaten, who's not, who's bred, who's not, what hets you got flying around, historical, generational, genealogical info. You're going to do it on Husbandry Pro. It's an app. It's right on your phone. There is a desktop version as well, which I use both interchangeably. Systems of
there's no way that would be there's no way I could do it otherwise. If I were to ever get into this, there's no other way that I would go than using Husbandry Pro, because I wouldn't be able to keep track of stuff.
The tracking and the routines are vitally important, and it just grows, it gets bigger. But this is going to help you grow and get bigger too. It's going to help you streamline your efficiency. Use the promo code PRoyals60 for 60 free days. That's a double the length of the free sample that you usually would get. You don't even have to enter a credit card to get going. Just download it and start inputting some animals and check it out and give it a try. The features are, I can't use the word endless because I don't like hyperbole, but there are a lot of features in there. So check that out. Thank you to everybody that supports this audience. Thank you as well. I banged my table and disconnected my camera one moment. And
I do have a question about getting back to Minnesota and getting back to your business. And I mean, you have a few businesses, but when you're like excited to get back into working with your snake business, is it more about getting back into the business of things? Like, I'm excited to get back to doing the things that I need to do because it's the things that I need to do? Or are you excited to be around your snakes again? Like, to be around the things that that you're breeding and growing and developing?
It's really
do you understand the distinction?
I do.
Okay.
It's a third thing. It's the life. It's exciting to get back to the life I'm living. As thankful and appreciative as I am of that client in North Carolina, waking up, jumping immediately into a suit, immediately out the door because there's deadlines, commitments, meetings, and doing that straight ahead until I eat dinner, until I jump back in bed, until I jump up. Now it's magnified because I'm there to work and I'm specifically for it. So it got magnified, but it's not much of a different pace than what I used to do decades on end. And again, as much as I appreciate the opportunity and enjoyed it, and I was doing different things rather than actually running the restaurant, I was happy that was a finite, defined period of time. And so it's exciting to get back to this life where I have the determination and the self-determination to say, I want to build my business in this way. I have a customer that I'm meeting today who's picking up a wholesale rodent order. And on top of it said, you know what, I've been looking at this snake that you got a little bit. Let's have a peek at that as well.
Okay. Right. All right. Cool.
So I get to do that on Friday. I meet with the electrician who's got to bring another circuit for my freezer and my incubator. Oh, that's fun. You got to have the incubator there because the babies are on their way. These long plans that you've made. All the while, clink, 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 you're going to have quarters dropping in the machine because it's going to be 41 and sunny today, and people are going to be happy. They're going to be thrilled. Like sunshine does something to Minnesotans in February. Let me tell you, man. So on top of it, I just want to get home to my family, but that's something that everybody can relate to. But as far as the business part of it,
family, whatever. Yeah.
I know we all know that, but and then it's this neat little world that I've worked hard to build, and I get to get back and get immersed in it today.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. We usually start out with our conversations on Thursday mornings with that one thing.
Yeah, what do you? I just ran you over this morning, Joe. What have you been doing?
No. I enjoy talking about this so much, and I thought maybe we could just get into some of the things that you went through and you had such a great story about Wayne, and one of I don't remember who said, "Oh, good to wake up and hear a feel good story." And my thing is more of a dilemma, and there's too many dilemmas, and there's too much stuff to really kind of think through and really think about. So I figure let's keep on with the feel good stuff.
Oh, you're in the escapism journey this morning, huh?
Well, it's two different things that I'm trying to decide. I was trying to decide which one to bring up, and I don't really want to talk about either one because it's just frustrating, and it has to do with a lot of what we were talking about last week.
I was going to say
it's just the politics of organizations. And it's not my organization, and it's not my work that I'm working in. It's somebody else's work, and it's somebody else's organization. So, but it's people who are close to me that I'm kind of like, I don't understand what's going on here, and I wanted to kind of bring it up, but I don't. It's too much, and we'll talk about it another time. Maybe something will shake out. But I actually kind of want to hear about your experience more fully in North Carolina.
Well, I'll tell this part of the story, which is where I really found inspiration. I don't want to get into the minutia of we trained this way, and I've had enough. I've had enough of the corporate explanations, so I can leave that behind me. We just talked. I talked a little bit about the culture and the history of the area. So Lake Lure is a town that was envisioned and created. It was completed in 1927. And I like thinking about this. 1927, so a full 99 years ago this year, some guy with the resources available in 1927 said, there's this nice valley here with a river that flows through it. If we just built a gigantic dam, flooded the whole valley, we'd have this lake, and then people would come here and build homes around this lake and vacation, and this will become a resort destination in the foothills of the Blue Ridge in Western North Carolina. That sounds wildly ambitious today. 99 years ago, that's what happened. That's what they did.
Yeah.
And so there's a massive dam at the eastern edge of where this river flows, and they flooded the lake. At its deepest part, it's some 120 feet deep. I mean, it's a deep East Coast lake, and so they did that. Fast forward many years until September of 2024, Hurricane Helene comes through and totally devastates the area. And what literally happened, I mean, this is some biblical folk song kind of stuff, is towns got washed away in walls of mud and flash floods of the river. That, the rivers are what have naturally carved valleys through places. But when you dump literally feet of rain, and they all flow to one place, it's an amazing wall of water that comes through. And so
let me just real quick, it had nothing to do, but it didn't, the dam didn't break or anything, or did it overflow, or was it just so much rain that the lake Or was it much more than that?
There's much more than that. The devastating part is some little towns. One particular called Chimney Rock that people might be familiar with. That's where Last of the Mohicans was filmed. Parts of that was filmed there, as well as in upstate New York. And this, I swear this is the name of the town, but there's another town called Bat Cave. So Bat Cave and Chimney Rock were physically bulldozed. And now those buildings, cars, some people, they're at the bottom of Lake Lure filled with the sediment of towns.
Oh my gosh.
Mountains, trees, mudslides. If you look at pictures post Helene of Lake Lure, you literally can walk across the sediment that's on the top of logs of trees. You cannot get through. The Army Corps of Engineers has been there for the past 15 months, dredging, emptying the lake, and it's finally now time to reopen. But it was really surreal. I couldn't bring myself to drive out. I have memories, and there's a post office in Bat Cave. That's where the Episcopal Church that Kelly and I would go to is in Bat Cave. I can't bring myself to go out there. We knew people that died. I mean, you think of the word of like perish in a flood, but they died from that flooding. So it's a really massive undertaking and hurt, and all of that plays into it. So the struggle and resilience was really incredible to see. But they are in the process of now refilling the lake. When you talk about the dam itself didn't fail. The dirt and the rock and the earth around the dam failed. So the dam held, but the place that around it failed. So they had to rebuild that, I don't know. It's just massive stuff. I don't know how, like, I stick 2 ball pythons in a tub and clean their poop. That's what I do. Like, these guys are like, how do we make a wall that'll hold 120 feet of a river depth and then recreate a town, So I don't know. It's beyond my comprehension of how this even works, So, so it's a really momentous time. And the lake is the economy of the town. So people get married on the shores of the lake. People, collegiate road teams come and do their spring scrimmages there. And I don't know if you know, but college rowing ain't cheap, man. They bring some money with them too. So when Columbia University says we need 80 rooms in Lake Lure so that we could bring our 3 row teams for 2 weeks, the town's pretty excited to do that. Summer homes, very seasonal. A lot of money comes in, but it's all because of the lake. Without the lake, you don't have any of it. And they've brought the lake back, man. So it's happening. It's underway. It'll be complete full volume May 1st, but the row teams actually were starting to arrive. They were excited when I was there this week that they got the new boat ramp concrete poured, because the row teams are arriving like Sunday, and they need that concrete set and ready to go for the row teams to lower the a traditional boat ramp goes into the water, and the water's not high enough, but the row teams have to drive down onto the lake bed, and then they'll pull the boats out to the water. So it's not the same typical launch, but you still need it from the parking lot to the lake bed kind of deal. So that's what they're going to be going on. But just things like that, where you're like, wow, that's a real tangible thing that you just don't think about in the devastation. So I thought about the struggle, the tenacity, the resiliency, but then I thought about the amazing opportunity of the people that did stick it out. How they are going to have a booming year. I mean, this is going to be a big year for that town, for that resort. And I'm excited to be part
because
of
it. Because of its reopening, because people are anxious to get back to it, you think?
Yeah, there's family traditions there. There's people that do their holidays there. There's repeat people that, if you're from Florida, the first place you could get to the mountains is there. Like, we get a ton of people from Florida. So that's their like summer getaway, or their Memorial Day or Labor Day or whatever. And they haven't been able to have that. Or
I know a bunch of people who go up there from Florida.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's going to be it's going to be a very big year for them. And there's two very nice golf courses there. They do a great job. Lots of restaurants that obviously I'm well in tune with. So all of it's getting back off the ground, and they're just doing, they have a really big, like a lake reopening official party. I mean, they're bringing in hot air balloon companies are coming in to give hot air balloon rides over the region. I was like, man, you guys are doing it. This is cool.
So I'm interested because you've mentioned a few words that kind of are striking to me, because one is tenacity. You mentioned tenacity, and then I think of resilience, right? But then there's something else. What you're mentioning here is something else. It's like it's capitalizing. It's taking advantage of. It's seeing the opportunity. It's
seizing an opportunity.
Seizing an opportunity of not just getting back to business as usual, but celebrating that we exist in this space again.
Yeah, and I think celebrate's a great word, because while yes, there might be a capitalistic component to that, it will be a celebration for that community and those folks, because so I've been through Hurricane Andrew, a devastating time in South Florida. People either pack up and leave in the face of adversity, or they hunker down and they figure out how to survive and reclaim and rebuild and redefine and that is what and some other people come in. They see the opportunity. My mother and her husband moved from Maine the day that they saw, like the day after Hurricane Andrew hit. Her husband, who's a electrician by trade and a general contractor, he said, I'm going to figure it out. That's where we're going to start our life, restart our life. And they did. He left. He took his Chevy Astro work van that day, drove to Florida, figured it out. My mom came down another 3-4 months after, and then I was there that summer. But it reminds me of that. And the people that stayed, when you get to it's a figurative finish line. Work's not done. I have pictures of, boathouses that have there's no support, or they're on the lake bed, and you're like, that they have to get that fixed quick, or it's going to stay on that lake bed, But also out on the lake bed are all these marinas that are waiting to be lifted and floated. It's surreal to just see them sitting there with no water. And then there's other neat problems. Well, one of the marinas at the resort is actually elevated. And the guy was saying, well, when the water drained, that's all the sediment from the town and the hillsides that got shoved under our docks. And if we had taken that out while the water was down, gravity would have broken our docks. So we're actually going to fill the lake with that sediment still under this part of the marina. But then we have to get in the water and dredge under it.
Oh, jeez.
So it's actually going to be cheaper to dredge and engineer rather than destroy our docks and have to rebuild them, kind of deal. So just interesting things, So I say, I felt inspired. I felt happy. There was a lot of argument for, why are we going to rebuild this 100-year-old dam? Why are we going to rebuild? Let's take a hint. We're going to rebuild and have another hurricane come in 3 years.
Let's take a hint.
maybe, So I hope not. But anyway, I was really just, like I say, inspired by it all and to see it all. And I've been a part of it for, like I say, a long time, better than a decade now.
Yeah, and so this is the place that you're working with is, and I guess everybody who's working there is a part of the idea that, yes, we need to rebuild this, and we need to get back into it. We need to make this space, the place that it once was. Or are there people who are like, well, this is just where I am, and this is my job, and I'm going to try and survive here.
Well, so we talk about complications. Nothing's as easy as it seems on the surface. The problem or the challenge with some of these economies and business models, particularly in places like Western North Carolina and Appalachia, is that they are some of the poorest localities and some of the richest people coming into those localities. Now,
okay, gotcha.
I'm proud to say that I felt like this particular property is pretty down to earth. That's why I went there. This is not the property that had the helicopters and literal billionaires, names that I see on the news, or I'm going, oh, I didn't think I'd see that name again in this, in this context.
Right.
That's not this place. This place is really quite down to earth. I lived there. I wasn't an owner there. But the staff and the local work that comes from there is largely some of the poorest in North Carolina, which puts them in the running for some of the poorest in the country. And the relationship, when you asked, is it like this pride of we have to rebuild this and we love this? I have to say, for some people, it is that have the vision, especially the leadership and the ownership, and it's a community owned. So if you own a house there, if you're a member, you're a shareholder of the whole property. It's an equity owned property. But if I know a lot of names, and actually kind of makes me emotional. I was very proud to provide a place of opportunity for a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're, I can't say any of the names, but if you're so-and-so, you might have only been saying, excuse my language, but shit, where's my paycheck going to come from now? How am I going to feed my family now? How am I going, so we talk all these idealistic terms of this is a great cause and a great thing to be a part of. And it is.
Right.
But there's also the reality of people who got warning signs. Hey, if you live below the dam, there's an imminent failure. Get out now. Don't expect to come back home. That's what happened in Chimney Rock and Bat Cave. South of the dam, thankfully, that did not happen, but that's what they were warned of. That's what they were told. They went through that. I couldn't as a leader expect those people to say, all right, now you got to get on the cause and be part of this cause and get back to washing these dishes. You know what I mean? Like you're staring at a different shotgun barrel there, man.
But that's a part of getting back to it too, is creating an entire economy that people can enter into and actually live and survive on that economy. So and I wonder, is that a part of the vision? Is that a part of yes, we have to get people back to work, or is it more like this is the idealistic thing? This is getting back and celebrating. Is it, or I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess I'm just trying to gauge
I've been a little removed from this sort of episode, but I was there during COVID. And what I could tell you is the culture of that property at that time during COVID was, we want to make sure that every person is paid and every person doesn't wonder where their job is, because one of two things, and this was the thought in the pandemic, one of two things is going to happen. Either society's done and we're gone. Okay. So then we don't care, or there's going to be some future. And when we get to that some future, we want to have our team in place, because we did see people doing nothing but just sheer layoffs. Get out of here. We'll figure it out later. And off you go. Yeah. There was the PP, the payroll protection plan loans that were greatly abused, but I could tell you, I was proud that we paid every penny of that out to the team, and that anybody that wanted to come back. Now, we got abused. There were people that just took their money and were like, yeah, see you later. But but the culture was, we are going to make sure that whatever the new version of post-pandemic life is, we have these people in place, because the people are what make us. So it's the same leadership that went through this episode. So I suspect that culture was the same. And I see a lot of the same people. There's a particular dishwasher that was there when I arrived, and she's still the dishwasher there. And she's,
that's incredible.
It tells me, and she is full-time. She has benefits. She has medical dental care for her and her family. I don't know if she participates, but she wants. She has the 401k, all that kind of stuff. So I'll tell you a happier version of the story. There was a bartender one time that I was like, I just asked her, I said, hey, what are you doing? You're shooting yourself in the foot here. You're not being responsible. Your activities outside of work are hindering your opportunity in work. And she basically said, Adam, this is the height of my mountain. I'm 21 and this is the best that I make more than I make than my family does. What do I do? I hear your pep talks, but you're the guy in the suit and I'm just this girl from this county. This is what I got. And I just said, are you familiar with a 401k? And of course she said no. And I said, let's start there. Are you familiar with internal promotion and internal job growth? I started as a dishwasher. Yes, I got a degree in history, not hospitality. I worked my way up from being a 16-year-old kid in a dish pit. And that woman is now the general manager of the busiest Irish pub in Charlotte, making Charlotte GM money, probably grossing, not her personally, but the pub probably grosses $12 million a year. So whatever the GM of a $12 million a year grossing property would be making is what she's making.
Right.
And
yeah.
Those moments were incredibly cool to me. And I know that happens all the time. I see the internal promotions. I see the opportunities there. So that's a long way of saying, I don't know. It probably was the owners and the leadership saying, no, we're going to rebuild this and we're going to be back.
Yeah.
But they brought a lot of people along with them.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole part of it. It's not just about, it's not just about the consumers who come in and enjoy the place again. It's got like a part of this is getting people back to work and getting people a livelihood again and getting people a purpose again and getting people on a trajectory of their life again. I mean, there's so much that a place like this where you think, oh, it's just a place for people to come and visit and have a good weekend. But there's so much, it just seems like there's so much more, and it's creating so much more than just, a place for people to vacation.
I think the magic and the solution has been that unified vision of leadership, of the board, of saying, look, there's nice condos everywhere. There's nice golf courses everywhere. You could get a great steak everywhere. There are lakes and mountains all over the region. What's going to differentiate us? It has to be the people at that point. It has to be your care and your concern. We did this exercise that I had down on the notes that I thought was really neat. And it was the thing that gave me the most optimism about back to the food and beverage team specifically. So since I left until the gentleman that is the director now, there's been 7 hires of directors. That is in under 5 years. May would be 5 years that I stepped fully out of operations. Okay. So you guys can do the math. I'm not trying to down anybody or make any commentary on that part other than to say it hasn't worked. Right. So we did this exercise where I really love it. It's actually a branding and marketing kind of strategy, but it can work for like a team kind of identifying and defining itself. So the new director, he's been there 3-4 months. The new managers, they've been there 2 weeks. There's one manager that's been there since I was there. I promoted her internally, and she is still growing and has actually with the labor and inflation and kind of the labor revolution in food and beverage of the past 5 years, she now makes very, very nearly what I made at the height of my career. And I'm like, my girl, good for you, so I'm really happy for her. But it's this disjointed team that hasn't worked a season together yet. And so I went through this exercise where I kind of just say, hey, what are the adjectives that define you guys? What are the things that make you get out of bed in the morning and excite you? And a lot of times what I hear with a new team is basically this mantra of, we're here to fix this. We're here to save this day. It's our way or the highway. Get out, get on board or get out. Like we've heard that stuff when a new regime, so to speak, takes over. Right.
Right.
And we're chuckling because it's nonsense, but and in this exercise, my job is not to provide them the right adjectives. It's to provide them a reflection of who they should be and bring out the best of what their passionate philosophies are. Because nobody's going to answer that question and go, well, it's to follow the rules perfectly and to serve from the left and to clear from the right and to greet within 2 minutes and to clear within blah, blah, blah. They're not going to do that. And what was really neat, Joe, through all of that, what emerged as like the final, like, why we do what we do and how we do what we do was we exist as a component of this community. We are here to reflect the values and the culture of this community through unforgettable, amazing experiences that we will deliver with urgency, care, and authenticity as ourselves. Like, it hit me so hard. I memorized that. Right. And I was so inspired because I was like, okay, you guys get it. You guys go, we're a part of this designed to bring joy to this community, to the people, to this place, not I'm the savior, get on board or get out of here because I'm going to bulldoze this place top to bottom. And that's and so in my report back to the general manager, I said, you got something really special here. I actually don't have all that much to, which is like the curse of a consultant. A consultant should never say, I don't have much to do here. But that takes a lot of faith in who you're working with and for as well. I have faith that he'll say, oh, we have tons of projects. We'll move you on to something else. But the best that I could do is to support and get out of the way of these folks. I need to help them with what I need to help them with is all the crap that people deal with that's not the customers or the team. So if it's arranging accounting, if it's software management, where it's keeping that organized and you're not sifting through 6 years of previous menu items when you're just trying to get to what the entree is for the evening, that's the stuff that I can help them with, So it is a really cool thing. A great trip, man.
Yeah. It really sounds like it. And it sounds like, I think I've lived like kind of my whole life, like trying to find the meaning in the work that I do or the time I spend doing various projects or various jobs or things like that. And to hear about a group of people who go, yeah, I might be serving or I might be managing, but there's an end to this that is bringing something that is really positive to both the community and to the people who can come from outside the community and enjoy time away from a world that is very taxing and stressful.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So it's the whole thing is heartening to hear about. The whole thing is like uplifting to hear about, to be able to have the resilience of being in such desperation and then and such devastation, and then have the hope to get back to work because you understand the importance of that work for the community and for, not to overblow it, but for the world. It's incredible. It's such a terrific story.
For a lot of the folks, it is their world. There's people I talk to that tell me they've never been on an airplane or seen the ocean. That's a different world, man. And things that I take for granted. Like we all like to complain about the weight of the world. Most of us have been on an airplane and seen an ocean, even if we don't live on the coast, and there's a lot of things that way in that area where you just go, man, we complicate and worry about some dumb stuff. This is a real challenge here. So I really like it, and I don't. Again, I understand there's complications of, that can turn into a patronizing relationship really fast. Like you have to be careful and aware of that as well. And you're not here to save or change the world. You got to fit into it.
No.
There's a reason that the people stay there and love it there. It is their home and their history, and their roots are deep there as they should be.
Well, it's such a story that is so. It's such a story that's so great that I want to think about it, reflect on it, and whoever is listening, and even the people on the chat this morning, Like, how do we find that out about the work that we do? How do we keep that at the forefront? How do we keep that feeling of the way that we spend our time is something that is super important to our own communities and this community and the world. I mean, this offers what are we offering here? If somebody who says who goes, oh, well, I'm washing dishes, and can connect washing dishes to rebuilding a community, is there a way that we can all look at our work in a certain way that is uplifting like that as well? Like, do we have to go through a devastating flood in order to see the importance of what we give to the world? We don't need to go through a flood. We just have to reflect a little bit on people who have, maybe, or reflect a little bit about what we can bring to the world and how much we can bring to our communities. I mean, I can't believe that 2.5 years ago I started to talk to you online every Thursday morning.
Right, man.
How much it has brought to my life. You know, that's incredible, just to be able to enter into these stories. And I don't mean stories in like oh, it's something that's far away. These true, real, fantastic.
Yeah, these are the things we get off and do. Yeah. I'll leave two quick dots. One being, I am back to the world of snakes and ball pythons. So Sunday, I'm down to Des Moines. I'll be vending in Des Moines, Iowa. No rest for the weary. Like, I woke up this morning, I was like, oh my God, okay, 3 days, and I got to hit the road again. But Charlie's coming with me. He's going to come vend with me. We'll go have a dude night in Des Moines Saturday night. Chris from 319 was in earlier. Chris, I hope we catch up in Des Moines. If you're going to be there Saturday, let me know. Maybe we'll get dinner. The last thing that, and you talked about it just a little bit. How do you find this? What do you do? I think people know, if you watch the show, I'm a really big fan of pro wrestling. And there was this really crazy moment this week where the new guy, who, by the way, if you're the new guy and you're accomplished and you get hired for a job and you got a vision, the last person you want to see walk through the doors is some dude that used to have your job that's now being flown in like he's gonna do right. Like, that's not what I called him. I banged my table again. I called him ahead of time to acknowledge that, like, hey, I'm here to do nothing but support you. And I assure you, I will stay out of your way. You have my word on that. And so he was patient with me, but we probably didn't like click. We weren't like geeking out over food and beverage and wine and all of that while we were there, which would have been fun, but I wasn't. So we weren't. So anyway, in a cool moment, he comes up to me and he says, hey, Jeff, who's the general manager, he says, hey, Jeff says that, and he really hasn't spoken to me. This is really the first like connection. He says, Jeff says you really like pro wrestling. And I was like, oh, that's the thing Jeff told you about me, huh? He's like, well, yeah. This kid hikes up, not his kid, this guy, that's not nice for me to say this, and he's very accomplished, 12 years of experience. This guy hikes up his dress pant leg in this essentially private club to show me a tattoo that he has on his leg of a wrestler named CM Punk. He goes, yeah, me too. And I was like, I said, okay. While we have this moment, and this goes back to what you were just saying, Joe, how do you find this? There's this tradition in wrestling that, you aim for stardom and everything that you can accomplish. After you reach that, the expression is that you put other people over. It takes somebody to lose for somebody to be the victor. And this is all a storyline, right? But if people don't participate in putting over people, that's why you see almost inevitably every legend that retires loses their last match. You go out looking up at the lights is what they say.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I get chills. I'm in my part of the career where it's my job to put you over. And no matter where you're at, no matter if there's this great cause of a town that's been washed into the lake or not, you can always find value in putting somebody else over. And
Yes.
because anywhere you're at, we all forget, no matter where you're at, you've accomplished something that somebody else hasn't. So if you've come across that person who hasn't accomplished it yet, you can help put them over no matter where you're at. And that could be that cause that you were talking about, Joe, that doesn't take a struggle. Yeah.
It's such a great analogy to understanding that no matter what you do, you are part of a larger story.
Right.
I mean, that's putting somebody over. It's being humble enough to recognize that you are part of a larger story.
Right. Right. And like, there's a legacy that goes with that. Okay, I accomplished stuff and I made it better for the next. Like that's a legacy, man. So
yeah.
All right, we've done it, Joe. Here we are, man. It's a busy day. I got to run. I can't stick in overtime today, man.
Okay. We will see you. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place.
That's right. Audience, thanks for hanging out, and see you soon. Hopefully I'll see you in Des Moines this weekend. If you're in the neighborhood, come hang out. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.